AI is no longer a Wild West. It's entering an age of regulation and scrutiny. The EU AI Act can either choke your roadmap or become a competitive advantage. In this module, we'll look at how to pivot your business model toward compliant, trusted AI that can scale and last. The market physics for AI are shifting. The old game was speed: ship quickly, scale aggressively, and tolerate messy, opaque models. The new game is trust. Systems must be explainable, governed, and provably compliant. Leaders now win by designing for assurance, not just acceleration. Investors are already adjusting. They evaluate AI companies through three lenses: growth potential, risk profile, and regulatory readiness. Weak governance creates governance debt that drags valuations down, because retrofitting compliance later is expensive. Build compliance into your architecture now, and you unlock premium multiples and de-risk due diligence. Regulation inevitably introduces friction: longer sales cycles, tougher questions, more documentation. That same friction, however, buys you access to the most valuable markets: regulated industries, public sector and EU contracts, and trust-sensitive customers. The shift in mindset is clear. Treat compliance as a revenue enabler, not a tax. Most leaders only see the obvious AI costs: licenses and compute. The real spend is the compliance stack underneath: data governance, risk assessments, documentation, human oversight, and conformity checks. Think of this not as administrative overhead, but as reusable infrastructure that lowers marginal cost for every future AI product. Now consider the downside. If the EU can switch off your AI products overnight, what happens to your roadmap, your valuation, and your investor story? That systemic exposure is the real risk you're managing. Bring that into the boardroom. At your next meeting, could you clearly explain where AI risks sit today, how exposed you are, and what your compliance roadmap looks like? Being able to answer those questions confidently is becoming a leadership expectation. Your customers feel the tension too. They worry about black box decisions, hallucinations, and data leakage. When your systems are visibly trustworthy and compliant, that anxiety becomes an advantage: easier vendor approvals, stronger renewal rates, potential premium pricing, and a brand that acts as a competitive moat. Regulation also opens doors. The EU AI Act doesn't only create costs, it creates new business models. Think platforms that offer compliance by default, standalone assurance services selling governance tooling, and niche specialists providing deep sector-specific compliance in areas like HR, finance, and healthcare. Inside the sales cycle, legal and procurement often become the real bottleneck. Responsible AI flips that bottleneck into a sales accelerator when you show up prepared: clear model cards, risk logs, and human oversight protocols in hand. Instead of months of back and forth, buyers gain confidence quickly, and deals move to signature. For each legacy AI product, you're effectively choosing between three paths: invest, pause, or pivot. Invest means rebuilding it as compliance native and treating it as a long-term strategic asset. Pivot means stripping out or redesigning high-risk features. Pause means deliberately avoiding regulated markets for now. What you can't do is ignore the choice and leave risk unmanaged. Winning leaders reframe the foundation. They treat data and documentation as assets, not admin. Provenance gives you traceable, lawful, high-quality data instead of random hordes. A living technical file explains how systems work and evolve. MLOps rigor standardizes updates. Together, these practices reduce risk, rework, and technical debt. Governance then becomes a coordinated effort. Legal translates the act into clear boundaries. Product and technology build controls directly into systems. Risk management folds AI into enterprise risk. An AI governance board connects these threads, so AI decisions follow your normal planning, budgeting, and approval rhythms. Over the next 6 months, focus on 4 practical moves. First, map every AI system in use, including vendor tools and shadow experiments. Second, classify each one by risk level. Third, stand up an AI governance body with clear owners and decision rights. Finally, Tune your go-to-market messaging to highlight trustworthy, compliant AI. In closing, treat the EU AI Act as a growth enabler, not a brake. Use it to design trustworthy products, win enterprise and public sector deals, and maintain investor confidence. Compliance is how you scale AI safely, credibly, and globally.